All right, yeah. That's it.
What's up?
We just go.
I love it.
That's it. There's no thrills. We're doing it on the couch. iPhone recording.
I love it.
Bag of bagels over there.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
And you did it. Did you bring the bag so you got a dozen bagels?
Yes. Oh, I think it's more than a dozen.
I was going to ask because you said I got a dozen. It looks like a lot of bagels.
Yeah, I think there's at least 15 in there.
Do they tell you on the app
No.
how many you're going to get?
It's called a surprise bag.
Oh, I don't like this, Kelly.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I don't like that. I need to know a minimum.
No. So, I mean, it's this is the second time I'm using Too Good To Go, the app. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but if you want to be, I don't have the numbers.
It's good. And so the app is so that you don't, the purpose of it is so that there's like less food waste.
Great.
So, it's kind of like beggars can't be choosers. In the past, like, money's tight or whatever, I've done Too Good To Go where it was like 15 bagels of just whatever, and I would cut them, saran wrap them, and freeze them.
Oh, boy.
Like my mother's taught me to do.
You sound like a Russian immigrant.
No, it's just like that's always what we did at kids. Like we would just like pull the bagels out of the
You would
freezer.
freeze bagels?
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah, we're trash.
No,
Yeah.
that's such garbage.
We're getting right into
That's
it.
such Jersey fucking garbage that you couldn't have the bagels, have them stale and reheat them in the oven.
Excuse me, if you leave bagels out, they're gonna get stale.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're gonna get moldy. You don't have to deal with that problem in the freezer.
I've never had a bagel sit idle long enough for mold to be considered.
I don't know.
worry.
You have siblings, right?
I have a sister.
Oh, you have one. I don't know. Maybe 3 children in the house was just too much for my mom to manage food wise. So
But
we
she had
just
3?
freeze a lot.
Oh my God! So you buy in a Costco amount?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Essentially. So anyway, the reason why I got this batch of bagels is because I am going to have some people over at my apartment.
Yes.
For a friend's birthday, and whenever I host, I like to have out a nice spread, Please.
But you got no spreads with the bagels. Was that on Too Good To Go?
So the guy, no, the spreads wasn't on Too Good To Go, but the guy I think took a liking to me because he offered me spreads, but I declined because I knew refrigeration wasn't going to be an option for me at that point, so I had to just take the bagels and go.
So now what? So I know the clientele of the people you will be hosting.
Right.
I don't think they're gonna need spreads.
Well, I live 2 blocks from a food town, so in the morning, tomorrow morning, I'm going to run down, grab some spreads, and then you go.
Food town? That's garbage.
The funny thing is that the food town is across from a Whole Foods, and I'm like, I'm not paying Whole Foods prices when I can get food town right there.
Let me tell you one thing. I was shopping at Key Food for the past 4 years, which is garbage.
That's way worse than food town.
It's equivalent to food. Let's not jump around and say
that's crazy.
they're on the same playing field.
You know what?
This is like Manhattan Key Food. This is a $5 Key Food.
Yeah,
it's not good. It's not good. It's still, your reaction's warranted.
But mine's a Brooklyn food town. Like it's a nice like white person food town.
No, it's not. There's no way. There's no white people food towns.
Williamsburg, Brooklyn, yeah.
No. There's still, listen, at the end of the day, no, because do the Hasidic Jews shop at the food town? They got their own situation.
They have their own situation. They're in South Williamsburg.
So then you got a few Puerto Ricans going into there.
Yeah, sure. But they keep it nice,
They keep it, I'll tell you what's definitely being sold there. Virgin Mary candles.
Yeah, I've bought some there.
You bought some Virgin Mary candles?
Yeah, I have a lot of Catholic guilt. This is going everywhere.
Oh my God, this is what I love about the pod. Stuff comes out about people quick.
Yeah, I have a lot of religious relics in my home. Enough for there have been like friends that are like, whatever, people I'm not like tight with, but that have been in my apartment like for parties and stuff that have asked me if I'm religious because they see the items that I have and I can't help myself. Like, I don't know. I just have some candles from when I was younger. My friend Judy just got back from Israel and bought me this insane crucifix. So now I have this crazy crucifix.
A crucifix from Israel?
Yeah.
You gotta throw it out. They cursed it or something. You can't keep that around.
She was like, she gave it to me. She gave me rosaries. I'm like, when we met, you thought I was a church girl. Like, you've known me for over 10 years. Like, I like don't go to church. And she's like, I know, but I know you like this stuff. And I'm like, it's guilt that keeps me hanging on to it. Don't give me more guilt.
Now I know why you and Max are such good friends. It's Catholic guilt's trapping you.
Yeah, it runs deep, even to the point where like I don't really decorate for Christmas because I just hate cleaning up, but I do put out a nativity.
Wait. You don't put lights up, you don't put a tree up, but you'll put a nativity out?
Yeah.
Who are you, a 97-year-old from 1972?
It looks nice. It goes right above all I do is I have a fireplace mantle that I hang the wreath like in front of the fireplace, and the nativity goes on top, and it looks nice. I put my Christmas cards. Tell me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're such a specific type of trash.
I know.
It's a very North Jersey.
Central, but yeah.
Wait, you're Central?
Yeah.
I thought you were North.
Saraville.
That does nothing for me.
Oh, I was going to say that's North. Like, that's absolutely not North. Middlesex County, like, it's like 25 minutes from Belmar.
You got an attraction by you that I could go by? How far is this from Six Flags?
So it's probably like an hour north of Six Flags.
Okay.
And do you know PNC Art Center?
I drive by it a lot.
I'm literally like the exit before PNC Art Center.
It's always a place I'd like to go.
Yeah.
I'm never going to go.
I mean, they have fun stuff, outdoor stuff.
But you can't get there.
Yeah, no, it's a bitch.
How do I get there?
You could take NJ Transit's pretty tight. It gets you there.
No, listen.
Yeah.
I've taken NJ Transit way too many times.
I used to I lived at home after college and would commute into the city from Jersey to mid-Jersey. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, that's the thing. Like people don't know I'm trash until I open my mouth.
Until you open your mouth or they walk into your apartment and they see a picture of Mary holding. Do you have like the real icons in your apartment?
I have 2 or 3 candles that have the icons.
Oh
I mean,
God.
Jesus is prevalent. He's on
there.
there.
You have permanent candles.
Well, they are sit in my little relic section.
Do you switch like the wax out?
No. I hardly ever burn them, but they're out.
Decorative candles?
Decorative. I mean, I burn candles, but just not the religious ones.
I don't know if that's classy or trashy.
Well, here's the thing. It's like I also dabble in, magic rocks and stuff like that.
Everyone slow down.
I know. I hate myself.
These are 2 very polar opposites.
Well, there actually can be a lot of they're not opposite, it depends on like
spiritual.
Yeah, like there's a spiritual aspect of it, but like whenever I travel or go anywhere, I tend to pick up something that I guess would be filed under witchy, but there's like a lot of history for some areas where Catholicism is very much ingrained. Like in Louisiana, voodoo is big there because something I wish I could eloquently tell this story, but basically they were stripped of their religion when the slaves came from Africa.
Okay.
And so they weren't allowed to pray to their like deities that they had been praying to, so they had to like change it to like basically like whatever a symbol is in voodoo, like there is a direct correlation to a Catholic deity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone it's smarter the same thing than in me Haiti, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Same thing going on there.
Yeah.
It's the French.
Yeah.
Whatever they did.
Yeah.
I'm against them. Not today. Not on September 10th.
Please.
We can't talk about them.
Please.
I saw a girl she still had her I voted sticker on.
Oh my God.
Walking through the World Trade Center today. And I was like, someone might punch you.
Literally.
In this place. Everyone's wearing fireman or cop paraphernalia.
Yes.
You might get punched in the face.
Please, get that out of here. Have some respect.
Oh my God. And there's a reason, I don't know if you've been to the World Trade Center Memorial.
Of course.
There's a lot of trees. There's a lot of grass. But you know what there's not? A bush.
Amazing.
What, so did you grow up Catholic?
Oh, yeah. I've gone through...
Irish?
Yeah, Irish Catholic. Irish. My mom's Irish. My dad's Polish.
Irish Catholic.
Yeah, Irish Catholic. And I went to Catholic school for 13 years, like kindergarten through high school. Yeah. My brother ended up going on to go to a Catholic college.
Which one?
And Seton Hall.
St. Paul's a Catholic college?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I had no idea.
And guess who turned out to be the gay one? Not me.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That's a guy I need on the pod. Fill me in on what's going on in your head, because that's wild.
Yeah.
He probably did a lot of flipping there.
Oh, hell yeah.
That was probably his, like, he's
joined
like, oh.
a frat, that whole thing.
He joined a frat?
Yeah. Had a girlfriend in the other sorority, the whole thing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And when did he drop it to the fam?
Literally, it'll be a year ago.
What?
Yeah, a year ago this past August.
How old is he?
30. He came out
What?
at 30, yeah. And like he like dropped the ball hard too. He dropped that he, was on the spectrum.
Okay. All right. Give me a time frame for when he's dropping this.
I went a little too inside Taylor family jokes, but no, he literally told my parents that like last summer and dropped that he was gay, has a boyfriend, and living with the boyfriend.
Oh, so he did the trifecta, the
yeah.
Holy Trinity.
Yeah,
he dropped
the Holy
on him.
Trinity. Yeah, exactly.
Was that the joke that was made in the house? That's a fun joke.
It's a fun. Listen, look. He's totally accepted. Like, it's not weird. It's like my parents love the boyfriend.
It's been a year.
Yeah, and
Wait, white boyfriend?
white. Yes.
Thank God.
God forbid.
Imagine that was the reaction.
That would have been the best.
That's like New Age Catholic. Like, oh, thank God.
I know. It's so funny. I was trying to work on this joke where I was like, where I talk about my brother coming out and like my parents being cool with it and me being like, how did you tell them? And he's like, they took it fine. I was gay. I'm like, how did you tell them you were living in sin? Because like living with a boyfriend before being married is like,
Wait, that's the real problem.
that's the real problem.
That's hilarious.
So I'm trying to make it work. People, I don't know, it's very Catholic centric. But yeah, so it's so funny because I have two brothers. I have an older brother, Frank, gay, younger brother, Billy, just annoying. And he, and I'm still like the problem child. I'm like, come on, I'm trying my best. Like, I'm not gay. But no, Frank can do no wrong,
Let's break it down. Hey, not gay. Huh? I can't be the worst.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those classic, like, I mean, if my mom heard this, she'd absolutely say this is not true. But I think Frank being gay is cool. If I were to like say I was, not straight, it would be a little bit more of a, you're Brooklyn trying to be cool, trying to be like, you're not really gay kind of thing.
Interesting. So you think you coming out would be a bigger problem than your
fully.
brother?
Yeah, he would probably disagree, but there's always a sibling that is like the one that did all the bad stuff and like always was blamed for stuff, even if it was like a group effort among the kids, and that was always me. So
is that a middle child thing?
I think it's a middle child thing, and I think it also has something to do with me being the only girl. So it was like a double whammy.
Because I think, correct me if I'm gay here, but if a girl comes out as gay, I feel like usually
I know
the family's a little more accepting of it.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit more accepting, but I think in terms of my family dynamic and who the fall guy is, I think that if I were to bring someone home that was not of the same, cut from the same cloth.
Ooh, that's good verbiage.
Thank you. Cut from the same cloth, it would be a much bigger deal than my brother bringing a guy home.
That's New Age.
Yeah.
Jersey, Queens, Long Island Catholicism.
Yeah. Like we all get each other because it's all the same bullshit, Is the boyfriend
also some sort of Irish?
No, his family.
Pale person?
He's pale, but I think he's a little spicy. Like I think his mom is from some sort of Spanish-speaking country.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, fun little flavor.
Did you know the boyfriend? Was he like, I'm gay, and you're like, oh. And he's like, and I'm living with the boyfriend, and it's Mark. And you're like, what?
No, I didn't know. But he did have other friends from college. I was like, oh, he's gay. What? I had no idea.
So they were boyfriends, and then now boyfriends, he was charading.
Yeah.
As bros.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a gross assumption on my part, but I mean, Yeah. Please.
It's what it seems.
Yeah.
I haven't even met anyone in this story, and that's what it seems.
Yeah, you got it nailed down pretty good.
I feel like that's just a common thing. I would do the same thing.
Of course. Yeah.
He's not weird for doing it.
No. I mean, it's like a hetero friend situation where, like, you know, occasionally you take too many shots at the bar, things happen.
Yada, yada, yada.
Exactly.
Seinfeld. So how? This is a funny joke I'm thinking of right now. When you went up for communion, would he take an extra Eucharist? That's a body of Christ joke. That's what we did there. That's a body of Christ.
It went a little, but
I thought of it, and I had to say it at the time.
I hear you.
And then your youngest brothers, like a screwball?
Yeah, well, I mean, so I'm 28, Bill is 22, and so he's still like a baby giraffe trying to find his footing, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, my older brother and I, like, had to get straight A's, like, you know, God forbid we didn't finish college in 4 years, that kind of thing, where Billy just got done with community college, like, 4 years, or, you know, started it 4 years ago, and now he's going to get his bachelor's, which was like a fight to get him to do that. So it's like, you know, the third kid, like, he came 8 years after the first kid. Like, there were some liberties in his upbringing. Right.
There was a little slack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my brother, you know, like how there's a, like, oh, you give your kids enough rope to hang themselves.
Right.
So Billy had no rope. And my brother and I had skin grafts to our parents. So, like, no, there was no margin of error. And Billy is just, you know, like Donnie from Wild Thornberries. He's just out in the wild,
running around
like a rugrat. Yeah, but he is overall a good kid. You know, he's not into drugs or anything. Like, but he still lives at home. So,
Rutgers kid?
No.
Ooh, I was going to say, you can't throw a kid like that into Rutgers.
No, I didn't even get into Rutgers.
You didn't get into Rutgers?
I know, it's such bullshit.
I thought everyone, you just like get it? Especially if you're a Jersey kid?
Yeah.
You're just like fucking Bruce, huh? And they're like, you're fucking right, yeah, come on.
I know. But it's funny because, like, a lot of my friends didn't get into Rutgers and we're like, what the frick? Like, my SAT scores were bad, I'll tell you that. Like,
SAT scores are bullshit.
Horrible. I think credit scores and SATs are bullshit.
Wait, SAT and what? Oh, credit scores? That's someone that has bad credit that says that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, come on. It's so easy to fall into debt and then all of a sudden. So I thought that if I was paying my credit cards each month, like, I still have credit, I'm good. No, honey, you can't get so high on the balances because when you get so high on the balances, your score starts going down.
You were doing partial payments?
Hell yeah.
You can't do partial payments. Even I know that.
New York's expensive.
I know it's expensive, but I use the debit card if I can, for most things. I'm buying a pack of gum and.
Well, look, I'm on my way to financial freedom. We're working on it. My credit score has gone up 30 points in the last few months because of how hard I'm working. That shows you how bad it was.
Listen, if it's at 30, that's a problem.
Oh, absolutely.
But 30 points above, good.
Yeah. We'll break 700 soon.
I had a roommate that he couldn't even apply for the apartment because like your credit score is 350.
Oh, that's bad. See, I'm not that bad, but like I live in an apartment where I'm lucky enough to live alone, and I've been living in the same spot for 6 years.
Oh.
And the reason why I had such a cush spot is only in the last year that I've been living alone. My roommate and I split for the first 5 years of us living there. But then in the pandemic, she wanted to move to Hawaii to get rid of.
Oh, she had a breakdown, huh?
Well, she's Chinese, and so she was like kind of saw Stop Asian Hate before it became a campaign on social media.
She's like Chinese, not Chinese American.
She's Chinese American.
Oh, okay.
She's Chinese American. She grew up here. She grew up here, but like just looking at her, like she's Chinese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But I'm just saying. Like,
I don't know. I see so I'm like.
Yeah.
You're fucking Chinese and like my name's fucking Paul.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Her name's Jess.
All right. There you go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so she was like, I got to get out of the city. Like, I'm going to move to Hawaii for an undetermined amount of time. And I was like, all right, well, if you're going to do that, the way our apartment's set up, you can't really, it's basically like, imagine this apartment, but like we managed to figure out how to get like 2 beds in here. It was a tight
The
squeeze.
train, the railroad?
Kinda.
Is that what it's called?
Kinda, yeah. Basically, instead of having like a living room where we would entertain, it would be like my room, and then the other side of the apartment was her room. And like we had closets
Gotcha.
that separated our whatever.
And then she had no Catholic ornaments? What was her Catholic ornament situation?
No, she was like always talking about like being an atheist and
Oh, she's a weird person.
I mean, when you don't grow up with religion, that's the thing. She never grew up with religion.
But she constantly talked about it?
No. Well, just, making fun of me because I can't find my keys and I'm running around saying the prayer to St. Anthony. Like, vastly
Oh, wow.
different.
Yeah, you're into it.
I can't help it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I literally will lose things. And, like when you're having a conversation with friends and, we're all smart people and them joking about, like, yeah, because people think fucking a man in the sky is real. I'm like, yeah, right. Sorry, God. I did not mean to say that.
Your toes are crossed.
I can't help it, Just, I don't know. I don't even know what I believe anymore. But, anyway, so Jess said she was going to move into Hawaii. And so I went down to, my landlady lived in the basement. And I went down there and negotiated the rent with her. And I was living there alone. And I'm still living there alone. But God rest her soul, Susan passed away recently because she has cancer.
Shout out Susan.
Yeah.
Not shout out cancer.
Not shout out cancer.
Let me ask you a question. When you went down to do the negotiation, did you bring a tray of cookies when you went?
Well, I have a dog that she adores, so I brought the dog.
That's a lot. I was going to say that's a lot less expensive than cookies, but dogs
Yeah.
are very expensive.
Yeah, but
way more than cookies.
Yeah, but
It's adorable.
it's adorable. You met Finny, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you get it. He can be intoxicating. So
Oh, gotcha. $1,000 off the rent. It's a great dog. Paying for himself.
Yeah, essentially. So, but I don't even know how we got onto this, but I was
Asian roommate.
Yeah, Asian roommate. She left. Now I live there alone, and I remember credit scores. So
Oh yeah.
so she passed away, and now all of a sudden I'm dealing with her 2 knucklehead sons. The one son lives there. The other son lives upstate. Oh yeah, it's real spicy.
Oh
real
my
drama.
God.
Yeah.
So she was living in the basement apartment
Yes.
with the son.
So she was living in the basement apartment. The son was living on the first floor.
Oh, this is New York, baby.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn. They've lived in that house, like that apartment building, their whole lives.
But Williamsburg, are they Jews?
Williamsburg. No. Polish, Catholic Polish. And that's also why I connect with her.
Interesting.
Because like I have the Polish side of me where I could like,
Bring a pierogi,
totally.
kibasi, and
yeah,
you
like
call
I
it a
remember
day.
one time when I was first 6 years ago when I was moving in, she was like, we were sitting at her kitchen table, like going over the contract, and my roommate and Susan always had a disconnect, but I always jived with her.
I think I know why.
Yeah. It goes without saying. And so I remember was sitting there, and she was saying how she had to go upstate to go to her grandkids' communion, and I was like, a communion in February? And she goes, I know, right? And I was like, oh, we're instant. we are connected. Like,
Just pack your shit up and get out.
I do not have to worry about the rent being raised. Like, this bitch loves me because I can kibitz with her. If you can kibitz with someone, you can, you're tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm dealing with the 2 brothers, and the one brother that lives upstate wants to sell the joint. The other brother who lives in the building obviously doesn't want to sell, and he's like grieving the loss of his mother that had cancer for a year, which I'll never understand. Like, believe me, I love my mother, but if I had a year to prepare for her to die of cancer, it wouldn't be such a shock.
It was in the cards.
Especially at 80 years old. It's like, you kind of know.
She should have been dead already.
Exactly. Like, that year was a good year.
Right.
Anyway.
Wait, so how old is he?
Late 40s.
Oh, Jeebus Creebus.
Yeah, it's a real freak show. And so I had been looking for new places to live, and I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm scared because my credit score. And I was talking to some people about it, namely my therapist, and she was like, it's not going to be a problem. It's fine. And hearing stories about someone having a credit score of 350 makes me feel better about
it was in a building like that was owned by a conglomerate that,
right. Well, that's the thing. And now, so the thing about family buildings are good because you get a deal. I've been paying cash for the past 6 years.
That's the way you should do it.
Yeah, and it's the best. But then they die, and all of a sudden, like, I'm dealing with their knucklehead sons, so
that's the bad part of
that's the bad part of it. But then, there's no broker's fee, there's no all of that shit. So, but I think I actually had found an apartment that I was ready to move into because I'm like, I don't want to leave Williamsburg. Like, I'm willing to pay more, but it's 4 blocks down, blah, blah, blah. And I called the one brother, and I was like, I think I'm going to move. And he was like, oh, we're not going to, it'll be at least 6 months, and we're fighting COVID, and I'm fighting my brother. Like, you don't have to really worry about it. So I think I have like another year left at this place.
How long is the lease?
Month to month.
Is there anything better?
Literally, it's like been the best spot. Yeah.
You're fine.
I'm fine. And
to even go through the process of selling it, that's going to take a while.
Yeah, and he also told me, he's like, we're going to end up selling to a management company because it's really just going to be whoever gives us the most money. And he's like, we're going to do a gut job they're going to end up doing a gut job on the building, which is kind of sad when you think about it, because like, if you walk into my apartment, like the walls smell like cigarettes, like it has like a homey Brooklyn feel. Like, part of the reason why I loved the apartment to begin with, because like when I walked in, I felt like I was walking into my grandma Betty's, because like you had the stale smell of cigarettes. Yep. Like you smelled like the pot roast downstairs in the basement. Like, it just felt, working in Manhattan and coming home at night to this like nice kind of dusty apartment felt good to me. I liked it. And so it's kind of sad that eventually the building is going to lose all of that and just be, some kind of luxury apartment. But, who am I to get in the way of
That's industry. Williamsburg, baby.
Yeah, it's Williamsburg.
Yeah, maybe, try East New York or something.
I know. Now I'm spoiled. Now I'm
you can't go to East New York.
No, I'm like, I don't want to leave the park I'm near. Are you kidding?
No, you need like military training to live in East New York.
Oh, please. No, that's not me.
Right by, what the hell's the spot? Tiny Cupboard.
Yeah. Oh.
Where all the shows are. Comedy shows.
I now have a boyfriend, something I did not have. And he lives over there. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to your apartment.
Boy.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, no thanks. I'm good on that.
Oh, my God. What, he lives there voluntarily?
Yeah, with like 5 other guys.
Oh, do I know him? Comedians?
Yeah, comedian. I can say his name.
I don't care.
Do you know Joe Gorman?
No.
Well, he's really funny. He's super funny. You can take my word for it.
I'll take your word for it.
And so we just started dating. But I was like, I'm sorry, I never go over to your place. He's like, why would we go to my place? And there's like too many men there. Like,
oh, that's the problem? I thought it was the bullets.
Yeah, the bullet, the everything. Yeah. I fucking hate going to the cupboard, man. I love the cupboard. I'll do your show. But gosh darn, what a trek. I can't handle it.
Here's the positives. It's right by the J train.
It is by the J.
Here's the negatives. Everything else.
Yes.
It needs to be by the J train because if you walked half a block, you would be stabbed.
Yeah. So I walk over to the L because for me, that's what's easier. And I hate it. It's just the worst 0.5 miles of my life. Horrible.
I take my watch off. I take my AirPods out.
Yeah. I never listen to music. I'm like... And I have some friends telling me I'm being dramatic, but I've heard too many stories.
You're not being dramatic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're saying 17 Hail Marys and you give...
I have my rosary in my pocket.
If you had your rosary in your pocket, put it out. People would be like, all right, geez, this is a good one over here.
Yeah, so I got nothing but God on my side. It's funny because I'm not a religious person. Like, I'm not, but I have these things.
I mean, that's just not what it sounds like, Kelly.
I know. But when you meet me, you don't think I'm...
No, this has all been news to me. Yeah. The past...
Yeah, we've known each other for a long time.
The past 29 minutes have been huge news.
Yeah.
You having a gay brother, I was like, thank God something normal. All right. What else is going on? How often did you go to like church and stuff?
So I came from a family where we went to Catholic school and... my parents didn't want to send me to Catholic school, but my grandparents were like, I'd rather die than have children, have grandkids that don't have a Catholic education.
Oh, they're one of those.
Yeah. And so they guilt tripped my parents. And so my parents get really hung up on how myself and my brothers live our lives because they want us to do things. We don't want to do it. We don't do it. Their parents, they wanted them to do something. They did what their parents wanted to do. And not my problem. That sucks that you got roped into that, but I've had enough therapy to know that I don't need to do that. And so my grandparents were the ones that wanted us to go to Catholic school. So the reason why we would go to church, when I would hang out with my grandparents, we went to church.
Okay.
But in terms of a Sunday where I was with my parents, the only reason why I was going to church was to drop off the envelope that had the number that related to your family. So each family had a number. So let's say like on our envelope, on the pink envelopes, if it said like 333, like that was like the Taylor family number. And that's how they knew if you came to the church every Sunday and donated money.
Yo, what?
Yeah. So they would keep track of how much the parents donated each week at Mass and if you were going to Mass.
At school.
Yeah. So because each school in the diocese had a church like connected to it. So if I went to St. Mary's, we went to St. Mary's. Like if my little brother ended up having to go to Our Lady of Victories, so he would have to go to Our Lady of Victories church. Like there was always a church connected to the school.
Okay, so I'm Orthodox, so I'll put an asterisk there. I don't know how this Catholic shit works.
Got you. Okay.
So a church has a high school, not a high. Or is it the other way around? The high school has a church.
The school has a church.
So you don't have a family church, and then you go to that high school, or like you don't have like Catholic high schools around you. Just whatever high school you decide to go to, you went to that church.
Essentially, well, no. So like if we were a St. Mary's family, so we went to Cardinal McCarrick as our. Like literally the high school was across the street from the church, but like they were connected.
Interesting.
Yeah, a little confusing. But basically we would have to, the diocese was seeing, and I remember Father Dennis like would say stuff at like after his homily, like and church was about to let out, there was always the announcements and he would say like, we encourage you to come, like we want to make sure we see our pink envelopes in the offering basket.
Oh, he just
they let you
it.
Fucking know.
Yeah,
they let you know. Like we know, and they would say, put what you can, even $1. One time, my little brother found his friend. I guess the envelope didn't make it into the basket, and he was young enough where like he didn't know to just put it in the basket, so he walked out of the church with it in it. There was a check for $2,500.
What?
In the envelope. My mom's like, I've been putting in 20.
That's what you should be doing. You go at least once a week.
At least once a week. And so what I meant to say was we wouldn't go as a family. Like my dad literally would drop me off, like kick me out of the truck, have me go inside the church, and then like would wait in the parking lot for the 45 minutes to an hour to be up and would pick me back up because
that's what my dad did.
Yeah. Like,
It's
your dads don't. And my mom, honestly, she was working. She's like, I don't have time for this. Again, because my grandparents wanted us to go.
Oh, so you went solo? You're doing solo church trips?
That's the thing. That's why it's so weird for me because like I was a kid going through puberty and stuff, going to church alone. So it's like,
that's wild.
It's weird.
I would never do that.
Yeah, well, I had to.
I'd be like, if my mom didn't drag me out of bed every time to go to church, I would be like, nah, dude, what are you going to do?
Again, Fall Guy. I had to do everything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if you want kids or whatever, but like I'm over kids because I was 6 when my little brother was born, and I've changed every dirty diaper. I've literally I've had to go to church. Like I don't want to have now kids that I have to put that through, All right,
I'm just not going. I'm not raising my kids religious. I feel I
know, it's just so exhausting. I even think
much
about it and I'm like,
you got to do just the whole religious part of it. I got to get them baptized.
Yeah.
And that's confirmation with the Russians. Baptism is same as confirmation.
Oh,
they're wild. You're drinking wine out of the womb. The Russians are wild people. And then you got to do the first confession.
Oh man.
Oh my god! And then like I was like young, you do the whole money.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
Russians don't do an envelope; they just pass the thing, and you see what everyone puts in. And
I
was like,
see.
yo, what's going on with this?
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
is every week. Do I know it's every day? I'm like, this is every day.
Every day.
And then I found out later that they don't get taxed, and I was like,
oh, yeah.
Yo, this is the best business to be in.
Yeah,
I should be a
it's
priest.
crazy. Mhm.
People are yelling at Bezos. At least he built a company.
I know.
This Father Igor dick.
Well,
He was studied the Bible for a few years, getting away scot free.
I don't know if you know this fun fact about me. So I went to a high school that has since closed because of lack of funding, because no one appreciates the Catholic education anymore.
Did they have the good basketball team?
Oh, we did have a good basketball team. Yeah, McCarrick did have a good basketball
Okay.
team. And you're 29? How old are you?
Yeah, I'll be 28 in a week.
Oh, okay. Cool. Libra. Nice. Me too.
Virgo.
Oh, you're a cusper.
Well, I
You're
don't know
a
what that means.
My birthday's in October. So I didn't know you were younger than me.
93.
Oh, 92.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah, so I went to Catholic high school, Cardin McCarrick, that has since closed. But after the school closed, it came out that the man that the school was named after, Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, got popped touching boys.
I thought you were going to say tax evasion. Oh, my God. I thought that's
What's
what we were
worse?
talking about. I had no idea that's where that was going to turn. Eventually, I thought this conversation was going to go there. I didn't know we were
course.
going to go there now.
Yeah, no, we're going there.
Popped.
Yeah. Wow. So he's he's now defrocked. He's no longer a cardinal. He's had like all of his like accomplishments stripped away from him. But like the stories that are coming out about this guy, man, apparently in the 70s, he had like a harem of young boys in a Belmar house.
A harem?
A harem. They called it a harem. Yeah.
That's so many young boys.
Yeah.
That's too many young
All
boys.
like underage kids
living at the house?
living at the house, and he was diddling them. Because like he opened it as
In
like
the
a
70s?
yeah. Crazy.
70s were wild.
Wild. But even that's not okay.
No matter who you were, best person, kid diddler. Everyone agrees. The 70s were great.
Yeah.
Everyone's in agreement there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Golden State Killer killed everyone.
Please, come on.
It became the 80s, and he said, "You know what? It's not the 70s anymore.
I'm good on that.
Okay, I'm done with this killing. I can't do this in the 80s." That's wild. So that's, you would think like a harem of young boys. How old?
I read the article a while ago,
Yeah.
but young, like, adolescent.
So is this because you would think at an age you like all look around and be like, this is kind of
I know.
fucked up.
But
Right?
that's the thing about, did you ever see Spotlight? About the journalists that ended up breaking a story about a lot of diddling that was happening in Boston? Like it was like all the priests.
No.
Yeah, so you have to watch Spotlight.
I love this.
Oh, it's
I love the
good.
church. I love cults. I love like
Oh,
religion.
yeah.
I love this shit.
So, Spotlight, starring Mark Ruffalo. It's good. I forget what the publication was, but basically, a team of journalists did an investigation on this one major Catholic church in Boston.
Okay.
And they found that a lot of the boys that were in that parish, or a lot of the men now, because they were older men, there was a really high suicide rate, and they were able to connect that to them having been diddled. Yeah, and so it was like a very large percentage of the boys in that parish during a certain amount of time had been diddled, and they just moved the priest because that's what they do. It's so weird. Why do you move the priest around?
At least the public schools, they just put them all in a room and just wait till their fucking tenure
Yeah, right.
expires. At least they're doing the right thing. No, the Catholic Church specifically, because Orthodox doesn't do this.
No, it's Catholic specific. It's weird.
It fascinates me because it's so perfect. Like
Yeah.
they
Oh, it's
conducted the perfect business
crime.
model.
Perfect crime. Yeah.
And no one, even today, when we know what's going on, still no one says anything.
I know, it's crazy. Like if I were to have a kid and not get the kid baptized, my dad would be like, "Great, my grandkid's going to hell." It's like, what the hell, dude? Like,
Yo, that blows my mind.
isn't it crazy? it's like if he has friends that have kids that are, now having kids, and they're choosing not to baptize their kids because they don't want to be a part of this institution. And they say, like, we just pray for the baby's soul. It's like, get over yourself.
Yo, it's the same people that like pass an old restaurant that shut down. They're like, you hate to see.
I know.
It's like, no, they should have adapted and they should have provided a better product.
Right.
Like that's what the Catholic Church is that.
Yep, they need a better product.
You need a better product.
One that doesn't involve pedophilia.
But it's so heavily invested in pedophilia.
So it's like a main arm of the business.
Pedophilia to the Catholic Church is like the cloud now. It's like no, it's just what we do. That's
what we do.
All of our information's there, and we're migrating towards it. But
yeah, totally.
That's insane. Either of your brothers have any stories like that?
So no, I don't know. Not anything that's been uncovered, but I don't know. The one brother's in therapy, so maybe. I don't know.
Because like for the Orthodox, for you to do your confession, you don't do it in the box. You go under. The priest has like a cloak, like a cape, and he opens it, and you like go into the cape, and you say.
That's weird.
It's the weirdest thing. And I was, what am I, second grade when you do your first confession?
Yeah, second
And that's
grade.
like around the time when like you start hearing stories about, and I was like, what, you want me to go into his cape?
Yeah, weird. That's in like your eye level with his trousers. So.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
I was like, no, what are we doing here? And then even though he has a wife and everything, the Orthodox, like I said, they do it all right.
Yeah.
They're not the Russians. They're dirty people, but the Greeks are fun.
Yeah, Greek Orthodoxes are fun.
Zach Petrovich is Serbian Orthodox.
Oh, whoa. I haven't heard of that. That's cool.
I think they do lamb. It's all those Mediterranean fucks.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Crazy.
I had no idea you were raised this religious.
Yeah, I was raised super Catholic.
Do you still go to church?
No, I don't go to church. But I never was in church like this is the word of God. Like I was never like happy to be there. It's still so boring, But
you got nice. Catholic church, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, you're in and out.
If you're lucky, you can get a guy that really likes to hear himself talk who never had a career in stand-up, so now he's a freaking priest giving a terrible homily,
But the Russians, it's 3 hours.
Oh, that's horrible.
Every Sunday, 3 hours.
That's crazy.
Typical.
Aren't you people hungry? Go
Standard.
home and eat.
Yeah, they got, they're snacking.
Yeah.
They got their dried meats.
Yeah.
As the Russians do.
Yeah. That's too much for me. My grandparents always would make me. I remember one time my grandma made me feel so bad because my one cousin, even though she's a first cousin, like her mom was like, I was raised Episcopalian and I don't really care about religion, so like.
What's Episcopalian?
It's like an offshoot of not an offshoot of Catholicism, but like it's like a Christian thing. Like, you're not. They go to church, but like it's not.
They eat fish.
They eat fish, yeah.
Is that Episcopalian? Well, what do they got going on?
Yeah, so I remember I was like, well, if she doesn't have to go to church, I'm not going to go. And she made me feel so bad that I think feeling bad about not wanting to go to church, I think helped to reinforce like the guilt that I have around Catholicism because I was just like, I always felt like defunct because I never wanted to go,
Yeah, especially if you go to Catholic school.
Right.
It's just all you're surrounded by. You're like, if I don't want to go, mind.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I'm like, they make us go, like, when I'm in school. And don't get me wrong, like, I hated school. I was never a good student. So any chance I could get to, like, not be in class, I was taking. So if that meant, we're going to go sit in the church and practice the Stations of the Cross, like, I'll take that versus sitting in. Yeah. Crazy.
And you had to do like theology classes?
We didn't call them theology classes though. They were just religion, and it was just religion class, and all we learned about was Catholicism and the Bible and stories from the Bible. Yeah, and I had a biology teacher in high school who is a nun, and she was the biology teacher, and she had a poster on the wall that said "The Big Bang Theory." God said "bang" and it happened.
This explains so much. I'm going to be honest. If that's your biology education, you should not be handing out COVID vaccines.
I know.
You should not be trusted with science.
I know. But luckily, I just, event plan essentially. I get everybody to where they need to go.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. No, I know. But it's funny because, like, my mom is really the only... My mom is, I was going to say only smart, but that's not right. I was going to say, like, educated in the family. Like, she just got her doctorate in nursing. Yeah.
Very nice.
So she's a smart lady. But
hey.
Yeah, thank God now. But yeah, so my family that was super into religion, then didn't go to college. What do you want from me?
Oh, the family that was super into religion, but your mom was into religion.
Just by default of my dad's parents.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, she grew up Catholic because of the Irish Catholic part, but like my grandmother on my mom's side was always just more spiritual than she was Catholic for sure, but not as crazy as my grandparents.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
nuns.
Yeah, nuns.
Yo.
Yeah.
Nuns are crazy.
I know, insane. My dad has stories of them, like, hitting him and stuff.
Oh, he went to Catholic school?
Of course my dad went to Catholic school.
Right. What is he? Because he's Polish.
Yeah, so my Polish side was a little crazy, not crazy, but like Catholic, really Catholic side.
Roman Catholic.
We're like, both sides are Roman Catholic, but like my Polish side of the family is the ones that like push the Catholic education and all that shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's a bit of a messy, confusing Eucharist. I don't know.
It is funny. Yeah, that all same thing in my family. Everyone that's religious. I'm the only one that went to college, besides my sister.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you're like, I don't think this is how things work. And they're like, no, you're a retard. Of course this is how it works.
Right, of course this is how it works. Yeah.
Why do we do everything 3 times in the church? Because that's what we do.
Yeah, totally.
All right? That's just what happens.
Yeah.
Like, should we all be kissing the same icon before drinking out of the same glass? And they're like, why wouldn't we? We're not gay. Like, I don't think any of this checks out.
It's crazy. Like, the drinking from the same cup kills me, and putting a piece of Eucharist in your mouth that was in the hands of another person absolutely disgusts me. But boy, was my grandma bitching and moaning when she had to sit in church with a mask.
Oh, yeah?
A big point of
contention. Oh, yeah, so she's a Republican.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah. I was like briefing my boyfriend because he was like talking about maybe coming home for Thanksgiving, and I was like, you just gotta roll with the punches. Like,
where's he from?
San Francisco, so like super liberal. He's not liberal, but
my God.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's like really the meeting of the minds.
Is he a Jew also?
No.
Oh, that would be great. That would be so much worse than your brother's boyfriend coming over.
So much
worse. And I would have came to your Thanksgiving.
So much worse. I still remember the one time my cousin brought home a Jewish girl. I'll never forget her because I always thought she was so great and so nice, and it'd be like, like my parents would always have like murmur stuff under their breath, and like the whole family would. And I just remember thinking, this is such a nice girl. I don't get the big deal. And then I realized, like, oh, it's because she is different.
It is one thing with people with that much bigotry in their heart.
Yeah.
They'll be like, that's a Jew.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, no, she's not Jewish. And then it'll just like come up.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, she was Jewish.
How did you know? Yeah.
And they're like, we
just know. Yeah.
I have 6 senses. That's my 6th.
Yeah.
I know when someone not like me is around.
Totally. I mean, look, I'm trying. My family sounds horrible. I have to like they're really good people. They're nice people.
The best,
the nicest. Did I help my dad fill out his ballot to vote for Trump? Maybe.
He needed help.
It was the mail-in ballot because of COVID in Jersey.
Yeah.
And
he was looking at it. He's like, this one has me beat.
He had just been in an accident at work.
Oh, okay.
He needed help. Yeah,
I thought he just got it.
He's all good now, though. He's all good now.
He saw the 2 bubbles trumping by, and he's like, oh boy.
But yeah, like when you go to my grandparents' house, like Tucker Carlson's on and all, it's like a big.
Oh, that's
big Fox
normal.
News. Yeah.
To me, that's not even.
So my dad's nickname for me is AOC. He thinks
yeah, your dad's fucking out the play. Let's get him on the pod. Let's get your gay brother and your conservative dad on the pod right now. Call him in.
Yeah, he really is. My dad is the best. So he calls me one time. I don't know. I did something nice. And he was like, "Oh, okay, AOC, you're gonna give free healthcare now too." Like he is always calling me that. But my whole life growing up, like I was super conservative, very conservative. Like I voted for Mitt Romney. Like,
oh wow,
yeah,
that's a certain type of conservative.
I was extremely conservative. I hadn't lost my I didn't blossom into an actual person until I was in college, because that's when I was finally away.
That's normal, I would say, nowadays.
Yeah, but like when you're so sheltered, like my best friend that I ended up rooming with was just like a total opposite of me. And she was like saying how she was doing drugs and high school and all this shit. And I was just like, you're a psycho. Her nickname for me when she met me was Church Girl.
I thought it was going to be AOC.
No.
I was like, how'd you know? She wasn't even elected.
But it's funny because like all this stuff, obviously with Texas having this abortion ban, like wild. If you were to ask me in high school, I fully agreed with abortion is murder. Like, I was totally pro-life. I used to go to these things called Chastity Day.
All right.
Yeah, man. I went to a thing called.
Where are you from?
I'm New Jersey.
No, you're not. I have no idea where you're from.
Yeah, and I think that's also. I didn't have sisters, and so I feel like if I had a sister, like maybe she would have been like. I also was like. I would have done anything for my parents to like me. So like if me being this good like Christian girl that like was anti-abortion, like it would just make them like me. Like I just wanted to be good. I wanted to make sure I got into heaven. And so I would go to this thing called Chastity Day. Again, another thing that got me out of school. That was like the main crux of everything. I hated being in class. And the slogan of it was, the slogan of the day was called, it was, "I'm worth it. I'm worth it," is what they just kept like hammering. And so.
Great marketing.
Yeah, crazy. So what we would do, and I thought about this in hindsight, because I was working on something and I was talking about Chastity Day. And I realized I was a sophomore or junior in high school, and we would go to middle schools. And the whole, because I was thinking, like, what's the point of Chastity Day? And I realized we were high schoolers going to middle schools and teaching these middle school kids about Chastity Day, and how you shouldn't masturbate, and how if you have sex once, like you're gonna get pregnant and die. Like, I remember this kid, I'll never forget, his name was Julio. Another person that was probably just there to get out of class, but
this is a boys and girls thing.
Boys and girls thing, yeah.
Okay.
And because that was another thing, like Catholic school is such a joke that if you went to these different events, like something like Chastity Day or volunteering at a soup kitchen, you would get extra credit like in your normal classes. So like I went to college and I was like, I'm dumb. Like I don't know anything. Like now not getting into Rutgers makes sense.
You went to your professor's office hours, you're like, excuse me. I'm really struggling with biochem here. Do you happen to have a middle school nearby I could tell not to masturbate?
Yeah. I remember I ran through this scene with Julio where he was trying to persuade me to have sex with him. And I was, he was like,
spitting game?
Oh, he was spitting, we read through the lines like on stage, my comeback to him was like, "No, I am not going to have sex with you because I'm worth it." Yeah. It was like a real fucking party.
Yo.
I know.
What?
And you know what's crazy? So the woman that leads these things called chastity
Do
day.
I know what's crazy? It's been 54 minutes. Do I know what's crazy? Yeah, the whole fucking thing, this whole conversation's been out of control.
The woman, her name is Pam Stenzel. Pam Stenzel. I say her name and people, I have friends that shudder.
It just went down my spine.
Yeah. She's still out there like doing talks and stuff. And of course she's an anti-vaxxing Trumper, but
Wait, what talks?
chastity day talks.
Listen, compared to Cardinal
McCarrick.
Yeah, compared to that guy.
I know. I do think it's two different kinds of bad.
Oh no, two such extremes.
Yeah.
But she's probably doing something.
Both relating to sex, because that's what it all is. Everyone's
end of
just
the
obsessed
day-
with sex.
Right.
That's what it is. Sex and money.
Jesus was nailed to the cross. Coincidence? Why couldn't he have been stapled?
Oh man. Yeah.
Fuck, I thought you were gonna come in here. I was gonna be like, Taylor Ham, and now you're dropping.
Oh yeah, no. It goes deep.
Oh
It
my
goes
god.
deep.
Were you in the fucking I'm blanking out on what it was. Were you in the Waco, Texas house when that went down?
No.
Like, that's how I feel like you grew up.
What are you talking about?
Do you know what the Waco?
I know Waco.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh,
David.
it's just connected now. No, it wasn't that bad, but you know, I was by far and away like a late bloomer in every sense of the word because I was so sheltered, you know, and like that's part of the reason why I realized in high school I started to have more friends, but in middle school I really didn't have friends, and I just would spend all my time on the internet, and like I think
Ooh.
yeah.
No one didn't prepare more for the internet than the Catholic Church.
Oh my God.
They did not see that coming.
Of pornography I consumed because it was my, I know you're a little late in the pod to get into this, but you know, that was like I didn't have a sex education. It was the only way I like knew what was happening was watching porn and seeing what happens. And do you know, so my, freshman year of college, I had to take like an elective, and I got randomly placed in, I think it was called like human sexuality or whatever. Like,
okay.
I didn't know what I was walking into. The first day of class, the professor made the boys and girls pair up, and meanwhile, everyone's like a bunch of like juniors and seniors, and I was this freshman randomly put into this class, and she said, "Okay, boys draw the vagina and girls draw the penis." And I didn't know how to explain to the guy how to draw a woman's reproductive system. I was like, I didn't know how to explain to him because I had such little education on female anatomy.
Right.
Reproductive anatomy, that when I saw people drawing like fallopian tubes, I was like, the fuck? Like, what am I looking at? Crazy.
Wait, that was in college or high school?
That was college. So I didn't learn about what happens during sex until college. Thank God for that class.
And you went to like a party school.
Yeah, Montclair.
Shout out Montclair.
Montclair State. Yeah, I somehow managed to...
So how did that fucking happen?
So it's so funny because there's always been a demon that just needed to get out. I have a demon that now is like the person before you, but I say demon like lovingly in a good way. Like I had a little like mix of a party animal, mix of like a really like open-minded person. Like I had that within me, and I got to college, and I've always been very tolerant of people. I will say that for myself. And so I think going to now a school where I'm meeting people of all different religions. My friend Judy, first Jew I ever really met.
Her name's Judy.
Yeah. Her
That's
Instagram
fun.
handle is Jew, and then with a bunch of D's, and then ith.
That's fun.
Judith. Yeah,
She's in.
sense of humor. Yeah. And I'm seeing her on Sunday. And yeah, so going to college, I think, was really good for me because I was able to see that there are other people with other backgrounds and other beliefs and systems. And that's really where I learned, like, okay, like you're not a defunct person. You're not a whore that's going to burn in hell if you're someone that has sex. Was I having sex? Absolutely not. I didn't lose my virginity till senior year of college.
They're going to say September 2020.
No, but I also joined a sorority, and so like
Right, that's why I knew you were a sorority girl.
Yeah, well, because I really just learned. I learned a lot there. Like I joined a sorority, and I was like, oh, I can dye my hair. I can buy thongs. Like I can have fun. So.
And it's also both very structured systems.
Yeah, totally. And they don't like to talk about it, but I was hazed to get into my sorority.
Oh, I love these stories.
Sleep deprivation, like crazy. We had this thing called table, and so we would be in the student center, and the pledges would sit at the table, and when a sister would come to the table to like sit down, you would have to get up and greet them. And so it'd be like, if someone was greeting me, it'd be like, hello, Sister Kelly Taylor, scroll number 369 of the Delta Tau class of Delta Phi Epsilon. How are you today? And it would, each week you were pledging, it would get longer and longer because sisters would say, I want you to add my favorite color to my greeting. And so it would be like, you go through the whole thing and your favorite color is purple. And like, you weren't allowed to look at your paper. Like it was like intense, like mind games. And I think I ended up getting best pledge. And I think how crazy growing up Catholic.
That's nothing for you.
I was like, this is a walk in the park. Like, I mean, it wasn't a walk in the park, but like I was able to really push through. And I think pledging really helped me see like, I am very capable of doing hard things. And it just was sort of like the crack in the armor that started like, that was what, was breaking down these walls I had up being raised so Catholic. Crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, girls are crazy with the hazing.
It's fucking nuts. We don't, obviously, that never, pretty much after I got in, the hazing stopped. Because
that you know.
That I know, yeah. I mean, and I don't really care what the girls are doing now, but a lot of fraternities got in trouble on my campus. So there was like my sorority actually did get in trouble for hazing now that I think back. Yeah, it was like my sophomore or junior year for something like innocuous, but it was
guys are dumb with their hazing.
Yeah, of course.
Girls are so psychological.
Girls don't leave scars.
No, they're brilliant with it. They'll make you sit on the dryer.
So we didn't do that. Like, we didn't do anything that it would be like, body shamey or whatever. Hell Week, maybe a little bit. Yeah. Like, you got like, made fun of or whatever. But I think like sleep deprivation and like girls just overall being really mean to you and you like having to take in a lot of information, like, is part of why pledging was so hard. But it's funny, as we're talking about this, I'm like thinking about like, how did I know so much? How did I know so much as a pledge? And I realized like I would stalk the sisters on social media when I wasn't like doing pledging stuff.
Right.
And so they would ask me questions like, what's my mom's name? Something you wouldn't know. And I would know the sister's mom's name because I had just been stalking her on social media. And I think because I had spent so much time on the internet when I was in middle school, where all I was doing was like looking at YouTube videos and like, knowing every single fun fact about the bands I would listen to, like helped me like just switch that to like learn about these girls in the sorority. Crazy.
Yeah, we just played like Russian submarine. You just sit everyone stands on a mattress. And you give each pledge a bottle of vodka and a potato. And then it's in a black room with a red light bulb. And you just keep playing like beep, beep, beep.
And what would they do?
You had to drink the vodka and you had to eat the potato.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And then there's also a loaf of rye bread everyone has to share.
just so they don't get
And then every like 15, 20 minutes they'll be like, there's a breach! And then we just threw water on them. And they're like, all right. And I was like, yeah, this is fun.
I didn't know you were in a fraternity. That's funny.
I founded a fraternity.
Oh, good for you.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. But
I know. I have my sorority letters tattooed in my lips.
Still?
Yeah, look.
Wow. You're deeper.
Deeper, yeah.
All right.
Wham bam.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought that it like went away eventually.
That's what they said. This is 10 years old.
That's 10 years old.
I got this when I was 18. Yeah.
If you're gonna get it,
If you're gonna get it.
that's
Yeah.
How much
Yeah.
did it hurt?
It was like 3 minutes of pain, and then of course I have a unicorn. That was our
Wait, that's
mascot.
that's the mascot.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Deefers. Shout out Stephanie Levenberg.
Oh, cool. Where'd you go to school again?
Cortland.
Cool.
DeFi was the cool sorority.
So was
You heard it
DeFi.
here first.
DeFi was the cool sorority on my campus, and I have a joke that doesn't usually land, but I say, I joined the like really like coolest, hottest sorority on campus. I really did, and in terms of looks, I was the diversity hire.
You were the GPA boost.
Yeah, even though my GPA sucked.
Listen. Let's not go diversity higher. That's how Catholic are you?
I know, but that's why it's funny,
Yeah, you're like, I'm brunette.
Especially, yes, exactly, because there were no black people in the sorority.
I know. Yeah, brunettes then. But like Alpha Phi at my school, everyone was a blonde except for one girl.
Yeah.
Like out of 80 girls.
It's insane.
And like, why is that girl the one?
Yeah, but also like where we're from, like New Jersey and like just tri-state area fraternities and sororities are so much more fun, because when you go down south, like, yeah, they are really actually like racist and horrible. And I'm not saying racism didn't exist like in the Greek life where we went to school, but like you could get like a Jersey girl, sorority girl is far different than any other kind of sorority girl. I feel like
garbage.
Garbage. Yeah.
Sororities Northeast are garbage.
Garbage.
Sororities in the South are classy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a little racist.
Yeah, a little racist.
A little bit. All right. That's it. We did it.
We did it.
What a fucking... I love this pod. People come in here and then they'll sit down and say, yeah, my high school closed down because the Cardinal raped everyone. And I'm like, oh my God.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.
All right. Adios.
Bye.